Hi everyone, you're welcome. Today we're going to talk about art. What is art? What is art? I mean, how did we come about that word art? What does it mean? If you ask me, the word art actually is derived from a Latin word, and that Latin word is ars. 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 Can you just believe it? Ars. Yeah. That word, ars, is a Latin word which actually means craft, skill, or technique. So at least you know how the word art started off from. It started from the Latin word ars. Believe it or not. And art, as we know it, is mostly visual. It's what you see. But not all art is what you see. Some art you hear, like music, and some art you taste, yeah, like cooking. Well, like I said initially, art is mostly visual. So most of the popular art we know is visual. Paintings, drawings, and recently you have art in video art, computer art, performance art, animation, television, video games, so much more. Right. But how do you define art? What is the definition of art? We'll get there. We'll get in there very soon. So, ooh. So if you're asked, what is art? I mean, how do you define art? Well, art is the study and creation of anything which gives pleasure and beauty. Now, arts represent an outlet of expression, okay, that is usually influenced by culture. So you have American arts, European arts, African art, even Nigerian art, and so on. The Chinese, the Indians. So culture affects art. And as culture affects art, art also affects culture. So the arts are a physical manifestation of our internal creative mind. Well, don't be surprised. We also have arts in literature, such as poetry, novels, short stories, epics, and so on. These are called literary arts. We also have performing arts, like your music. Yes, we know our musicians, right? Olamide, Wizkid, and so on. Yeah. Davido. I love Michael Jackson. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, so among them, the performing arts is music, dance, theater. Okay, don't forget I mentioned food, culinary arts. That's the way you cook, how you cook, baking, winemaking. We also have media arts like photography, cinematography, and so on. Well, what is much more concerned to me is the visual arts, which is what I teach. Visual arts include drawing, painting, ceramics, sculpting. Some art forms combine a visual element with performance, and you can find that in film. And some kind of arts involve written words and pictures, like comics. I love comics. Now we're going to check out how art is divided. Actually, art is divided into two major parts. Let's check that out, okay? Okay, so art can be broken down into two parts. Pardon me. Yep, art is broken down into two broad parts. You have the liberal art and the creative art. Example of the liberal art includes history and literature. Can you imagine that? History and literature are also arts, but they are known as the liberal arts. The second division is the creative arts, which is where I am very, very concerned. The creative art is also divided into two aspects, and that is performing arts and the visual arts. Don't be surprised, visual art is also known as plastic art, because you tend to feel it, tend to touch it. The performing arts, which is the non-visual arts, includes music and theater arts, while the visual art or the plastic arts include fine arts and applied arts. So basically what we do in the art studio is visual arts, because the visual art contains fine arts and applied arts. You'll get to see what these things mean. All right? Whoa. Yeah, where was I? Visual arts, and I said the visual arts include fine arts and applied arts. Now let's explain this. Let's break this down. The two areas of visual arts are fine arts and applied arts, okay? Fine arts is broken down into painting, sculpture, and architecture. Yes, the architects are also fine artists. Of course, they are very advanced and technical. Then applied arts includes graphics, your letterings and things like that. Textiles, which has to do with designs and clothes. Ceramics, which is clay that has been fired to make ornamental objects. And of course, metalworks, okay? So all these are under visual art. So you can see visual art is pretty interesting. Now, the first person to ask that question, what is art? What is art? There's a great artist, a French, known as Marcel Duchamp. He asked that question, what is art? Yes. So art is the study and creation of anything which gives pleasure and beauty. You can actually take a bicycle tire and fix it on a stool, which is one of the artworks Marcel Duchamp did, and it was called an artwork. I can decide to take a staple machine like that and glue this and put a nice background, and it becomes an artwork. So that is art, right? What is art from now on? What is art? You should be able to say art is the study and creation of anything which gives pleasure and beauty. And the word art originated from the Latin word ars. No, not that kind of ars. No, not the behind ars. ARS, Latin word which means craft, skill, or technique. Yeah, I hope you've learned something. Yeah, I know you've learned something. But then, let's take some revision questions. All right. Wow. How am I doing this? I mean, my clothes keep on changing over and over. I don't know. Just a minute. All right. Let's take some review questions in this our discourse on what is art. So, we've already talked about what art is, and art is the study and creation of anything that gives pleasure and beauty. What are the two broad divisions of art? Yeah, I'm asking you, what are the two broad divisions of art? Okay, if you said liberal art and creative art, you're right. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. There's a power failure. See ya.